Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the new Mercedes-Benz GLC43 AMG. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of Draper, Utah for giving me some time with this GLC. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Corey. And then on a side note, I'll include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that is paired to a hybrid system and a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being a whopping 416 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. And just like other AMG engines, it is handcrafted. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, it's not really all that crazy with the design. You can see we've got a couple body lines there on the center and then on either side. We also got the AMG badge there. The cool part is the headlights. So with this, you guys can kind of see there with the little turn signal indicator. I think it looks cool. And then you got the very upright AMG grille here. And then you can see with the parking sensors at the bottom. And putting it all together, I think this looks pretty sporty. On the side here, our tire wheel setup is 265 by 45 by 20 in the front. And then 295 by 40 by 20 in the rear. So slightly staggered setup in a way. You can see with the wheels, you've got this silver mixed with the blacked elements, and then you got the little AMG logo there at the bottom. Got these nice painted fender flares. Got the turbo electrified badge there on the side. Notice this trim's all blacked out. And then you can see the full side view here. This is cool with the fender flare in the back, how it kind of pops out a little bit. And taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening here for the hatch and also AMG logo as well, but we'll pop her open. Now popping into the rear, you can see we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory and quite a bit of storage space in the GLC. We also have these little buttons on either side to throw down the seats for even more storage. But when you're all done with this, just press this button up top and that'll lower the hatch right back down. Now this taillight design looks pretty spunky if you ask me. Got the GLC badge, you can see AMG on the other side. And then I love the exhaust tips on this. Super aggressive looking. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks of the GLC. Now taking a look at the door panel, really nice trim here at the top and down below as well. You can see the door lock and unlock there, and then you get a nice finish. Now this one has the brown interior, which they have another one with the black seats and the red stitching, but I picked this one because, I don't know, I think it's usually what you, or something you don't usually see at AMGs rather. And then popping in, it's not a huge amount of legroom, but I mean it works, I fit. Got some vents here as well. And then headroom's pretty good even though it has a sunroof. Now taking a look at the front door panel again, look at this trim here and down below. We've got our little heated seat control, memory seat function. And you can see with the seat adjustments and then all of our window controls, the mirrors power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring. And then here are the front seats. Okay, look at that with the brown and the black. It's pretty cool looking. And then, oh, almost forgot, AMG plaque. And then here are the pedals. And we've got our light controls up above. And then this is nice with the trim. And then you can see with the trim all across the dash as well. This is where some of the exciting stuff starts. So first off, we got the AMG steering wheel. So AMG logo there on the bottom, and then really nice perforated trim on either side. Paddle shifters there on the back for the 9-speed. Bunch of practical controls. So we've got these for that center screen, and this is for the infotainment screen right there. You got voice command volume controls, you got adaptive cruise control, and then this is cool, depending on what is on the screen will determine what this little tab adjusts. So I think that's kind of a fun little part of this car. And then you've got your drive mode select there on the other side. And then we have turn signal windshield wipers talk. And then we've got our column shifter. Now here is the gauge cluster, full digital, super customizable. I mean, you can change how this looks. The Sport, I think, fits with the style of this particular one quite well. But yeah, there's so many different themes that you can do, and this almost doubles as like a secondary infotainment system in a way. And then speaking of infotainment system, we've got the 360 camera system, so really good resolution there. And then as for the screen itself, we've got this little shortcut bar here at the bottom. It also lets you access the climate controls very readily. But yeah, quick response time. I mean, this is super easy to use, and very similar to what you have in the S-Class. So it also has like this for you press for the AMG to go through the different drive modes. Again, very readily accessible, and then some other physical controls too. Heads-up display here, and then again, look at the trim across the dash with all the vents there. And then the passenger has heated seat, and then all the seat adjustments. And you got this nice trim all across the dash. And speaking of nice trim, look at this down below. This is cool looking. Plenty of storage. We also have a wireless phone charging pad inside as well. And then if you press this, that'll actually open up this part of the center console. Got a nice trim here. And then while we're on the topic of storage, here's the glove box. And then we do have a big panoramic sunroof up top. Here's a quick look at the window sticker, GLC43. You can see all the standard equipment. And then there's your total MSRP, $74,920 after options. Let's see how it drives. Talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, do a blind spot ring. And throw the rest over here. Let us set off here in the GLC 43. This is an exciting experience for me personally because, and also look at that Sprinter. That's a cool build. I might have to review that thing. That's a fun build. Anyways, I just completely got sidetracked because I don't know, that Sprinter looks cool. This engine is fascinating. Hybrid turbo 4-cylinder with tons of power. I mean, just to give you guys an idea of how much power this thing has, I have a Toyota Land Cruiser which has a 5.7 liter V8. It's a big engine. That puts out 381 horsepower. So this has more horsepower than my big V8 SUV. This doesn't have as much torque. That's got a 401 pound-feet of torque, but still, it's just crazy out of a 2-liter 4-cylinder, the amount of power this vehicle has. Now I will say it feels like an AMG. The seats are actually really comfortable, but like the suspension, it's tight. It's definitely tight, but the ride quality is not uncomfortable. It's very well dampened. Yeah, it's a pretty nice ride overall. Transmissions, it's aggressive. I mean, we're seeing comfort mode, but it's smooth too. Yeah, Mercedes just, they tune everything so well. Yeah, it's like so just instant and it's off. Well, we're in Sport Plus mode. Pretty peaky, pretty peaky. It still definitely accelerates like a turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder. So what you notice with turbocharged engines is, and just like engines in general, the bigger they are, the more displacement, you know, the kind of like bigger shove you get right off the bat. Whereas if they're smaller displacement, then, you know, it's peakier. And it's fast, but it takes a second for it to get into it. Which, oops, I just clicked on the volume. Too many controls in one place. But we'll keep it in sport mode here. It's quick. It's really quick. It's got a ton of power. It's crazy. It's a 4-cylinder. Super torquey too. Again, like I said, peaky, but still it's got good torque. So overall, I think this thing looks great. It drives really well. Super sharp handling dynamics. It has no body roll. It's weird because it's an SUV, but it drives more like a sports car than an SUV. So, man, this is an interesting car. Mercedes doesn't really sell hot hatchbacks in the US market, but that's kind of what this is in a way. Now the GLA, what was it, GLA 45, that was like the, you know, Mercedes hot hatchback SUV that we had in the US market. This is kind of like a bigger version. So basically, if the GLA, if you want that hot hatchback experience that you get in like a, you know, GLA, but you need something that's a little bit bigger, a little bit more practical, that's what this GLC 43 gives you. And so that's kind of a way that I would look at this. Is it's a weird way to put it, but it's kind of like a, yeah, it's kind of like a hot hatch SUV from Mercedes, which I think for some people it'd be a fun, this would be a fun daily driver slash family car. I don't know, that's my thoughts.